What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knightmare Talks. He's
Chase.
And I'm Aaron.
What just happened? What was that? Don't come at me sideways and doing different stuff, dude. I don't like that.
I like to switch it up a little bit. Keep you on your
Can you
toes.
prep me ahead of time so that way we're not supposed to
No,
know? Like,
no, that takes away the surprise factor.
No, I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Don't do
like
that. No, I don't like surprises and I don't like reading.
So you don't like reading and don't like surprises.
I'm just gonna keep it real with everybody. I'm gonna tell you what I don't like, and then I'm gonna tell you what I do like.
Oh, well, that's what we're gonna do on the episode.
That's what we do.
That's what we're gonna do. So we are gonna do something we have been talking about for a while. We always like to come at you guys with good horror movies, but I think we need to single out the crappy ones.
We've talked about this.
That's what we're gonna do on this episode. We are gonna give you the 10 worst or overrated.
Disclaimer: this is based on opinions. This is our opinion. This is not facts, obviously.
Right.
Opinion.
We don't need no hate mail.
If you like the movie, we're sorry.
Or are we?
No, sorry.
No, yeah, once again, it's just opinions. But that's this whole channel's about that. It's opinions, you know what I mean? Everything we say is opinionated. So but yeah, like, you know, there's way more crappy horror movies out there than there are good ones. And that's why I thought it'd be kind of fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Like that, you can't even compare it, dude.
No, I guess you're right.
Honestly,
I didn't think about it like that. I guess that's true.
Yeah, it's just there's so many people that attempt horror that have no business doing horror, and then sometimes you get a surprise. You know what I mean?
The diamond in the rough.
Diamond in the rough. So we're gonna go over. We talked about this earlier, and we put a list together of our 10 just worst and or overrated. Overrated meaning they show you a trailer or you hear people talking about it or you see a poster and you're like, oh my god, you know that could be really, really good. That movie looks so good, and then you watch it and you're like, that was hot garbage,
Trash.
you know. And there's gonna be some movies on here that you guys are gonna be like, oh yep, 100% that movie was trash.
Yeah.
And we are gonna lead out with the one that is trash. It's called Mama.
This is an awful movie. God. So this goes in both categories to me. So overrated because Hollywood, when they were doing the previews and talking about this movie, they hyped it up to be the horror movie of the year. And
it's Del Toro, dude. Like, I love the guy. He's put out some great movies, but
dude, for every, good, there's a bad. And this is just, in my opinion, and apparently Aaron's.
Our opinions.
This is a bad movie.
This was,
man. Throughout the whole movie, it wasn't like, the first half of the movie was good. There was no good parts of this movie. It was just a bad movie.
Just
everything you wanted to see that was good within the movie, you saw in the previews, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was even decent. I would say decent at best. I wouldn't even say good.
Yeah. Yeah, they just tried to make two little kids look creepy.
And then the ending, come on, dude. I'm not going to spoil it, but it sucked.
That's why it's number 1 on our list.
Yes.
We had to start out with that one. If you remember when we did our episode and we were like, we're going to spotlight Mama, and then just chunked it across the room. It was trash. It was trash.
Bad.
But we got plenty more trash on this list for you guys.
There's a few.
I don't think anybody is going to disagree or dispute this next one as well. Anybody that's seen it. The freaking Happening. The Happening. Mark Wahlberg, what the hell were you thinking with this one? And okay, so M. Night Shyamalan, he's hit or miss, mostly miss. I love Signs.
Man, I don't know.
I loved Unbroken.
Yep.
Or not Unbroken, Unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Unbroken was like a horror movie.
I was gonna correct you. I got you, bro.
Yeah. But dude, The freaking Happening. Once again, you see the trailer of all these people like dying. You see those guys that are like working on skyscrapers just falling to the ground, and you're like, oh crap, like what's going on? This movie looks crazy. But then you watch it and you're like, this is crap.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
Shame on you for making this movie.
You know what? He probably got paid decently. Maybe that's why he chose to do the movie.
I'm
sure he got paid pretty decently, regardless of how it turned out.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Mark Wahlberg. You know, he's getting paid.
And the man's made a lot of good movies outside of horror films, but like the man's made good movies.
Oh yeah, way more good than bad.
Yes,
we'll give him credit for that. Absolutely. Just Ted alone. Ted alone. I forgive him just from Ted.
Honestly, you're right. Ted was great.
Ted was amazing.
Ted's
Not a horror movie, guys, but if
Not
you haven't
at
seen
all.
Ted, watch Ted. I love that freaking movie.
It'll ruin teddy bears for you forever.
Oh, dude. So this next movie, talking about a sleeper, bro. Like, it probably took me about a month to finish this movie because every like 5 or 10 minutes I'd fall asleep, and then I'd be like, well, I gotta finish this movie because people are talking about it. God, it sucked. Shutter Island with Leonardo DiCaprio. Sorry if you guys like that movie, but I just thought it was so freaking boring and just not good. It had potential.
Yeah, the storyline has potential. The way they went about it and I guess really told the story within the movie is just bad.
Yeah,
And it's really dry and it's slow.
just boring,
And
dude.
then it feels like it never picks up and it never gets going. And then next thing you know, the movie's over.
Yeah, and you're like, thank God it's over, but God, it sucked ass.
Not.
You're sitting there and you're like, okay, maybe it'll get better.
Yeah.
I have that problem.
Yeah.
I'll be watching a movie
Yep.
and I'm like, oh my God, this freaking movie sucks, dude. Maybe it'll get better. And then another 10, 15 minutes goes by and you're like, well, it still sucks.
Dude,
And it
what
hasn't
do you
gotten
think
better,
is
but-
a good like time frame for that though? Like, what is a good cutoff to like be watching a terrible movie like this to where you're like, okay, at this point, if this movie doesn't pick up or show signs of life, I'm done with it.
I'd say probably like 30 minutes. Because, I mean, most movies are about an hour and a half to 2 hours long.
I think
right?
you're right, but I think I burn out at like 15. I think if it doesn't get good or capture me in some way within the first 15 minutes, I've lost interest.
Yeah.
And then I don't even care if it gets better.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with that. And that was 15 minutes of your life.
I was
that
just
you
curious how
didn't
long.
spend.
Yeah, I was just curious how long like you would spend watching like if it's a bad movie and like whatever that amount of time is, you give it to that point and then stop.
I will say that if it has horrible actors that annoy the crap out of me, I can't even last 30 minutes. No way. There's been a couple movies where I actually watched a couple movies in fast forward because I had to be able to see like what was going to happen, and I'll just make my own assumptions of like, oh, okay, that truck hit a tree, so I'm assuming that guy died, right? Whatever. Just because the acting was so bad, or there was an actor that really annoyed the crap out of me, and I just could not deal with it. And there's a movie on this list that we'll get to in a little while that had the absolute most annoying freaking character. Oh my God. You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking
But
about. We'll get there.
Let's stay on track.
Yep. Nope. You're good.
Shutter Island sucked. Boring.
We're not going to say these movies are good. This is a complete kind of a negative Nancy show, if you will, because these are just not good movies.
We're just
in
keeping
our
it real,
opinion.
though. We're just
Being
keeping
honest.
it real.
Just
I mean,
being honest.
people might be curious to see what we like and what we don't like, because if it's if it's similar to what they like and what they don't like, then maybe when we spotlight movies, they'll be like, I'll check that movie out because all the other movies that they like, I like. You know what I mean?
It's all opinion based, man, because I'm sure when we did our episode for movies we do like, sure there's people out there that'll like, I don't like any of those.
Yeah, and we're going to give you guys a great movie that we're going to spotlight after we're done with this list, so stick around for that. If you're mad at me because I said Shutter Island sucked, I'm sorry, but once again, it's our opinions.
And we're actually not sorry.
Moving right
Anyway,
along.
let's do this.
Moving right along.
Let's go, man.
I'm not going to lie. I was pretty excited about this movie when it came out because I was a big fan of the video game. If you guys remember, House of the Dead, the shooting game. A lot of younger kids, they don't know what it was like to be in an arcade, and on weekends everybody would go to the arcade. They'd take their $5, $10, $15, whatever they had with quarters, and they would just play video games all day, and there'd be as many people as they could fit in there.
Playing the
there'd
game.
be lines. And you'd put your quarter on the machine saying you were next. And so there'd be a line of people. There'd be like 20, 30 quarters lined up on the game, and you just kept track of when it was your turn.
Who was next? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that in arcades. Mm-hmm. And that used to be fun.
Dude, that was hella fun. Like,
it was such a good time to go to arcades. I enjoyed that.
It was, dude. You were hanging out with your friends, waiting for your turn. And House of the Dead was a very, very popular game. It was a very hard game. It was super challenging, and you could blow through $15 in quarters real quick if you weren't very good at that game.
Kind of reminds me of Doom.
Doom was like that too, yeah.
So, and they made a movie, so it's kind of similar, same instance. So, game, freaking great. Kind of disturbing to some kids apparently, but The movie though with Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I didn't think it was horrible.
Oh, dude. Oh man.
I think maybe if they didn't have The Rock and the other dude, I forget his name. He's a really good actor
You're
too.
good at forgetting names. It seems to be.
Yeah, I know. I need to stop trying to thinking about names. But
Don't-
I didn't think it was horrible. I felt like it could have been better. Like they should have made it more like the game instead of.
It had a good so. It's not horrible. It's bad. It is bad. But they had a great setup. They had a good story, I think, for the most part. Until they went, I guess, down underground and everything, and then it kind of just.
Carl Urban was his name.
Good job, dude. There it is.
I'm a little slow.
Gotta let the elevator go up, and then you're there.
There it is.
But that's what that reminds me of when we were talking about it earlier. I was like, man, it's kind of like the Doom thing because the movie was not that great, but the video game was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. And so was House of the Dead. But God, the movie House of the Dead.
That movie's
sucked.
actually
It blew so bad.
It's crap. Yeah.
Garbage, hot garbage, dude. Super disappointing. I was excited about it, and I will admit that I did not make it through that movie. Probably about that 30, 40-minute mark, and I was like, I can't do it. It was dumb.
I think I finished the whole thing in one watch.
Did you?
I think so. Pretty sure I watched it all in one go.
I'm impressed.
It wasn't good, but I watched it. I don't know why.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah. I don't know.
And do you remember a movie called White Noise?
Yeah, so I do. There was a lot of hype behind this movie too, because that's when everybody was like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn on." I forget whatever that detector thing is where you can hear. Yeah, the EVP. Yeah, there you go. Forgot the acronym for it, but the EVP thing to see if I can hear, ghosts and all this stuff, or the TVs where you have it on the fuzzy, listen to it that way, and that's how you would hear things.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't know. There was a lot of hype behind this movie before it came out, and it's kind of one of those overrated. The film itself was just boring, essentially. Like, it was just really, really boring.
I remember it being boring.
Like, dry. It never really got going. But the hype behind it that they put out, like, oh, this is going to be, like, another one of those great films, and it just definitely was not.
Never delivered, right?
Nope. Could have been, though. It could have been a
agree.
really good movie. Like, it's a cool concept. I just think it needed to be developed a little bit more.
Yeah. Do you believe in those EVP machines? Do you feel like those things really work?
I do, actually.
Do you?
I do. I think they actually do work. I think it picks up things. Sometimes I think it's sporadic. I think it's not always maybe like if you're trying to talk to whatever it is. Because, I mean, if you've ever watched like just some of those investigation shows, sometimes it's just random things they're saying.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I never hear what it says that it's saying. You know how it always has like the word pop up like
I have.
danger.
Yeah. No,
And
I have.
I'll just hear like ugh,
No.
like
I've heard it.
how do you hear danger?
So you gotta. I'd have to think of the name of the. It's a YouTube channel. Anyway, there's a YouTube channel out there, and if I think of the name, I'll put it in the comments. But they're pretty good at that. Like they actually pick up some really good things, and it's very clear with what you heard. Like it's, yeah.
Well, one thing,
But
that
I know
thought,
what you're talking about. I've heard the same thing.
One thing
though.
that I thought was really stupid though is when you have like they'll be investigating in Japan, and they're clearly in like an old Japanese building or whatever, an old Japanese hospital, and the EVP will be in English. How does that work? Like, if the person that died in that house or that building was Japanese, wouldn't it be in Japanese, like the word you would be hearing, like konnichiwa, not hello?
Are we? I mean, there's nothing to say that it wasn't an English person that lived there. It's kind of an unfair
Possible,
statement. I
but-
mean, you're making a very unfair statement.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you're probably. I don't know, dude.
I'm just saying, like,
It's
whatever.
a conspiracy. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying. I'm on the fence about those EVP things. I'm on the fence about ghost stuff in general. Like I said, like I said in earlier episodes, dude. I feel like most of the stuff you see online, all these videos, is people's imagination. They're paranoid. They're somewhere dark. They're scared, and they pretend they think that they saw something or they think that they heard something. That's just their imagination, right? But I'm not saying that all of them are, because I've seen some that are very compelling. So I believe in ghosts. I believe things are haunted. I believe in all that stuff. But I do believe that most of the stuff online is just people trying to cash in and capitalize on. Oh my God! Did you hear that?
I won't disagree with you there.
I heard a
I
door
think
close.
there's a lot of, and it's unfortunate because like
It is.
if it's not real content and you're just faking everything you're doing, you're taking away from those that are actually authentic with what they're doing. So, and that sucks because then nobody believes anybody because literally there's so many people that have made a mockery of it to where nobody cares to watch it.
Yeah.
It just, you're like, oh, this is not even real. So
And I feel
why
like
would I
that's.
waste my time?
I was looking at your shirt, the Sasquatch shirt. I feel like that's a lot like with the Sasquatch stuff too. Is so many people have faked things and done hoaxes that it discredits the authentic footage and it discredits the authentic witnesses. So once again, it's just unfortunate because
It sucks. We've talked about it, dude. You and I've had that conversation, especially with Sasquatch. Like that was one of the things we talked about. Where
and we always talk about Sasquatch.
I hate people that make fake videos on this.
Me too. Pisses me off, dude.
I don't understand that. Like, don't waste your time. Like, do something more productive with whatever anything else.
That you literally you have nothing better to do.
Because literally, it takes away from the videos that are maybe authentic and trying to be real, or somebody actually had an experience and they're trying to post that.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Well, you know what else is unfortunate?
What's that?
The next movie on this list.
This is such a
M. Night Shyamalan. Once again, shame on you. You deserve to be smacked for this one. The Village.
Man.
Dude, okay. I'm going to start out with this one. That movie had such potential. I'm not going to lie. The beginning of that movie, spoiler alert, up until the point when you find out that it's the actual people living in the village that are dressing up like the monsters, that movie was freaking intriguing to me. Like, I was just like, oh, shit, this is crazy.
I did not expect you to actually go full-fledged and ruin the whole movie.
Sorry.
That's not spoiler alert. You told the movie.
Well, most people, it's an old-ass movie, so most of you have seen it.
They should have watched it. You're right.
If you're a horror fan, you've seen The Village, or you at least tried to watch The Village, but... Oh, my God. So disappointing, dude. And then the ending was just...
I have mixed feelings on this movie, man. So, I agree with you. I do agree. So, I hate the fact that it was people dressing up that were the creatures, and the creatures were not real. Just like people that don't have real Bigfoot experiences. Anyway, I hated that part. That sucked. And it kind of, at that point, the movie was over for me. I agree. But the story, the plot, and everything leading up to that, he was on a good track, man.
For sure,
it was go. That was a movie that would have went somewhere had, one, the monster's been legit, and then two, I'm gonna ruin this movie even more.
But a lot of his movies are like that. I feel like he starts writing a movie, and then he's smoking a joint, and then the more weed he smokes, by the time he gets halfway done with writing the movie, he's so freaking high that he's just like, well, I'll just whatever. I'll just write down whatever.
And maybe some people like this story. Maybe they're like, oh, no, that's cool. I didn't think that would be the outcome of this film. I understand what you think, but, at the same time, had the monsters been real and everything, and there had been some kind of plan to get past them and to go past, whatever, this movie would have been probably a knockout.
I agree. If they would have kept it to where, okay, there really is monsters in the woods, and if you wear the color red, or if you have something red, it triggers them, or whatever. But, man, it just got dumb.
It did. Dude, it sucked.
But we'll forgive you, because once again, you made Signs, and a lot of people don't like Signs, but you know what, guys? And you said this earlier today, and I'm with you. The scene where they're looking out the window, the kids are looking out the window at the birthday party, and the alien, once again, it's a little bit cheesy now compared to the stuff we get now.
Not at all.
But it's still creepy, dude. When he walks across and all the kids start screaming and he looks at the window or whatever, that freaking scene was great, dude.
Man, that as a kid, that scene shook me, in a sense, because, that's not what I was expecting to happen.
Right.
I didn't expect to actually see anything. And then when that happened, like, given it didn't look real. Like, it didn't look, animation wasn't that great with it, and it was kind of whatever.
But it just worked.
But it just worked.
Absolutely,
It just worked. It did. Like, just the way they set up that scene, it worked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like.
And he really did have, like, the perfect actors for that movie, too.
Oh, yeah.
Mel Gibson and I'm not even going to try to say his name.
Why do you do this to yourself?
No, I know his name. I just can't pronounce it properly.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so we forgive you, M. Night Shyamalan, but if you keep putting out crap like these movies, I mean, you already got 2 movies on here.
Maybe you should try remaking The Village, but change your ending.
He's got another one that just came out called Old, and I haven't seen it.
Oh, no. Okay. Whoa.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, trash.
Oh, so guess what?
I was going to get there. It was trash.
Yeah, so he's 1 for 4.
That movie sucked.
But,
like, even worse. I would argue worse than The Village.
Oh, God. Should be ashamed of yourself. All right, let's go to the next one.
Get it?
The Fog. You remember The Fog?
I do.
Another boring movie.
There's a lot of hype behind that movie, too.
Same thing. Had potential, dude. And once again, that's why these movies were so disappointing. And
a lot of people that, if you're watching this and, like, you're hearing us talk about The Fog, you're doing the same thing that I had to do when we were talking about it. Was I can't remember everything that even happened in this movie. And that should tell you right there when a movie's not so great, that if you have to sit there and really recall what happens in a film and it's not very memorable, it's probably not that good of a movie.
It's probably not that good.
Like, if you can't remember it, it's not that good.
No, 100%, dude. 100%. I can't even remember a lot of the crappy movies that I've watched because I think maybe your mind just tries to block it out. You know what I mean? And that's what happened with The Fog. I don't remember. It's foggy.
Remember, like,
it's very foggy. It's just a fog in my head.
Shame on you, sir. Shame on you. Not a good movie, though. It's just not. I don't know. I don't remember anything terrible in the movie, but it just wasn't memorable.
I just remember watching it and just trying to stay awake and just being like, oh, my
Yeah.
God, this is so boring.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, you know what else? Another movie that was really boring? The Cell with Jennifer Lopez.
Dude, I don't recall.
Actually, the only thing I remember about that movie was the horse, when the horse got chopped up in pieces. That was super weird.
I really thought you were going to say Jennifer Lopez, but
Maybe you got to be high for these movies. Maybe you got to be high. I've heard people tell me that movies are so much better when you're high, especially cartoons.
not allowed to be high, so that must be great.
Well, maybe you got to be high for these.
That sucks.
Maybe we should smoke weed and then
I can't
rewatch
smoke
all these.
weed. That's what I'm
I'll
saying.
blow it in
I
your
can't.
face.
No, you can't.
I'll blow it in your
you
face.
can't do that either.
No, Cell sucks. The Cell sucked.
Yeah.
It was disappointing.
I don't even remember, so there's that.
Yep, moving right along. Damn this movie.
Damn this movie.
I really don't understand the hype behind this movie. I don't know why there are so many people that rave about this movie. It's garbage. It sucks. It's the only thing I can think of is maybe the shock value of this movie. People appreciated. I guess I can appreciate 1 or 2 scenes from this movie, but I still think it just sucked. It's called Hereditary. Hereditary. I know you guys have seen it. Once again, I want to put this in overrated as hell. Like, everybody was talking about this
I don't
movie.
remember the hype behind this movie. I don't. So
I do.
I'm taking your word for that one because I don't remember the hype behind it. But, like,
I just don't understand it, dude.
I don't know, man. It's just some movies just fall off and they just land flat on their face and they're just not that great.
Yeah, I mean, once again, to each his own. It's, different people have different opinions on what they like and what they don't like, and once again, that's what we're doing is we're giving you opinions. But I watched this movie, and then I tried to watch it again because sometimes you're just like, okay, well, maybe I need to watch it again and it'll be better the second time, right? No. It was
still trash.
Still crappy both
bad.
times.
That's so bad.
I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. But to each his own, dude. It's on our list. We both agreed on it, so.
I feel like the story was, once again, it's one of those stories where it could have been great. Like, all the storylines for these bad movies, if you you change certain aspects of them, and like maybe you know heighten some of the areas that are weak, or just the whole film in general. You turn it into great films. Because literally, like The Village, you take The Village for example. There's a lot of things you can change in that film, and that changes the whole outcome of that movie.
Oh, 100%, dude. 100%.
Yep.
Like I said, it just derails so bad.
Yep.
Well, and that brings us to number 10. And this is the movie I was talking about earlier. You know what movie it is, right? The freaking actor that I just... God dang it. I could not... I do remember. I could not stomach this movie simply because I just could not deal with the kid. And it's the Babadook.
Okay.
Babadook.
So... past the kid.
Okay.
Starting this movie, I liked the initial, like...
Me too.
First half, maybe 3/4 of the movie. Like, it was good.
Minus the kid.
I don't like the ending.
No.
The kid's he is annoying. He is. Oh. I could look past it.
I got kids, man. Let me tell you, that kid would be... Yeah.
I don't know. Like, this is not the worst movie on the list. This one does not reach the worst movie on this list.
I don't think it's the worst on my list either, but
bad. That ending is terrible. The kid's bad.
I thought the concept was cool, that it's a children's book, and it's about, you know, essentially a boogeyman in a children's book that really exists or whatever, comes to life or whatever. I feel like it had potential. I really do. Yep. But I feel like it just... Once again, it just derailed, dude.
It did. The character, the actual, like, creepy, whatever he was, guy, boogeyman.
Babadook.
Like, he was done really well within this movie. Like, he was creepy.
Yeah.
So.
It was disappointing.
It was, again, not the worst movie on the list, but still bad.
Yeah, so, on a positive note, let's go ahead and spotlight our movie of the episode. And, dude... This movie is amazing. If you guys have not seen this movie before, do yourself a favor. Train to Busan, the Korean movie.
This is all you.
Yeah. You haven't seen Train to Busan?
No, dude, we talked about that already. I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, we'll remedy that. Train to Busan is a zombie movie. It's Korean, so it's subtitled Chase.
Gosh dang it, dude.
Dang it. But it's so freaking good. I have not met a single person that did not say that movie is amazing, and I will put that in my top 20, possibly top 10 of all time, greatest horror movies of all time.
Why do you like making me read?
You're missing out on a lot of really great movies that are foreign. There's some countries that I will admit that are potentially possibly better at making horror movies than us. Yeah. United States, and Japan is up there. Yep. Koreans, man, they're stepping up. They are stepping up their game, dude. They had another movie called The Host that guys should check out as well.
I've seen that one too.
Yeah, so we won't touch into that one too much. But Train to Busan, if you guys haven't seen it, once again, do yourself a favor, watch that movie. It's amazing. It is edge of your seat. Oh my God, it's intense. It's edge of your seat. So, anyways, that is our 10 worst and/or overrated movies of all time. I'm sure this list could have been a lot longer, but we kept it. We narrowed it down to 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed that.
At that point, we're just stockpiling terrible movies. I don't know that that's necessarily something we should do.
Yeah, but it was kind of fun. It's kind of fun to talk smack about these movies and let the people know what we really feel about it. So
true that, man.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Train
to Busan.
Yep.
Check it out, guys.
Cool.
All right. Well, once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
And comment.
Throw us some comments, guys. Throw us a bone.
Or just have a conversation with us. Like, we don't bite.
Just say hi.
Yeah. Or just say hi. Too. We're cool. It's fine.
Anyway, guys, once again, I'm Aaron.
I'm Chase.
And thanks for tuning in. Keep an eye out for some more content. We're bringing some more to you soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Later.